Get ready with me as I tell you some controversial things I won't be doing as a second-time mom. I'm 24 weeks pregnant. I'm expanding at a rapid rate. It's quite alarming. I haven't had a baby in 7 years, so I've had a lot of time to process and think what I want to do this time. My last pregnancy felt like a teen pregnancy, although I was 25 at the time. It's the worst year of my life. I was going through a divorce with my current husband. It was just a hot mess. So, to say the least, this pregnancy has been a dream. I really don't feel pregnant until I look in the mirror and see an orca staring back at me. To me, it is the freakiest feeling knowing a child is going to come home with us in about 14 weeks and live with us permanently, forever. First thing I won't be doing is having a birth plan. I've never believed in birth plans. I don't think this is something you can plan for. It's so unpredictable. I think it's great to have like a loose idea. Like for me, I've never had an epidural, but I would like to try an epidural this time. But if that doesn't happen, it's okay. I just feel like you don't need to set yourself up for disappointment in case it doesn't go the way you envision it. As long as there's a healthy you and a healthy baby on the other side, that's all that matters. You don't need a 3-page list of expectations because guess what? The baby is coming out one way or another if you like it or not. Second thing I won't be doing is making a nursery. I know that girls love to do this. We do have an extra room, so if I change my mind, I can always do that. But I just feel like it's so unnecessary. Don't get me wrong, I love design. I love creating beautiful spaces, but they don't use it. Like, he's gonna be sleeping with us for probably the first year. So I just think it's one of those things that's just too much pressure that you don't need to put on yourself. While I'm on the topic of sleeping arrangements, I will not be co-sleeping with my baby this time. I know you're probably like, well, duh, Kelsey, everyone knows that. But I actually did not know that. When I had my first baby, I was super depressed. I did no research. I did not care. I was just in a really dark place, and we co-slept. Thank God she lived, but I really had no idea that it was so dangerous. So I've been educating myself, trying to learn all that I can. This time around, he will be sleeping in a bassinet next to our bed. This next one kind of goes along with the sleep thing, but I will not be creating a perfectly zen environment for my baby. I want there to be noise. I want there to be lights and action, obviously in reason. I don't know how he's going to sleep, and that's what I'm most terrified for because I love my sleep. I am not a nice person when I don't sleep, so that is a little bit jarring to think about. But I just know that babies, when you create certain environments, they're going to cling on to that. So the more chaos in my mind, I just want him to get used to it, get used to the action. So buckle up, buddy. Enjoy the party. And we're going to have a great time figuring it out together. Okay, next thing. This is a wee bit controversial. Do I want to talk about this on the internet? I'm unsure. But what's the worst that can happen? That was my famous last words. Breastfeeding. Okay, I know this is such a divisive topic for some reason, but my thought is, well, especially if you're a man, if you do not have a gland that produces milk from your body, you do not get an opinion. I still try to wrap my head around why people care so much about how you feed your child. As long as they are being fed, they're not neglected, they're happy and healthy, why do you care? That being said, I will not be exclusively breastfeeding my baby. I am going to give it a shot for the first month. When I had Kenzie, I felt so much pressure around this issue. I was in such a bad mental headspace. It was extremely draining, painful. It made you feel like a failure if you didn't do it. There's a lot of judgment if you don't want to breastfeed. I remember so many days sitting in my chair, sobbing, hooked up to a machine, my udders are pumping and secreting juices to provide for my child. And that is a great thing, and I think it can be beautiful. But for the mentally unwell, it is so taxing. Honestly, I would say breastfeeding is harder than birth and labor. That was my experience. I'm not trying to project that onto everyone, and I know that some people do love it, but I don't want to be the only one providing and taking care of my child the whole time. You're still going to feel connected to your baby. Your baby is still going to love you the same exact way, no matter if you formula feed or breastfeed. Fed is best, and don't let anyone tell you different, because frankly, it's nobody's business. Motherhood, no matter how you slice it, is such a beautiful, fulfilling experience. By far my favorite part of life. It's so many emotions wrapped into one, a lot of highs, a lot of lows, but the love you have for your babies, I'm telling you, it is unreal. At the end of the day, you are the best mom for your baby. You instinctually will just know what to do, so don't stress yourself out too much. It's going to be amazing.